Good morning, everyone. It's Terry Dwayne Ashford. We're coming in with you on Saturday morning, April 24th, and we're doing our reporting this morning. We have done an audio report on the incidents with the black female stalking in the car seat from 6 a.m. this morning that ended up with a black female from a Toyota RAV4 attempting to reimage crimes that was supposed to have been picked up by car reimaging on 9th Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. That 9th Street reimaging was supposed to ensue and point in the car seat. That guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, down Tuckerman Street, who would make a left onto Tuckerman Street, a right into the green BP gas station at Tuckerman and Georgia Avenue, make a U-turn onto Piney Branch, park at the yellow Shell gas station across the street, and there was supposed to have been picked up and trailed by a gray Mercedes of a black woman that followed from Underwood on Piney Branch, down Piney Branch, made a right onto Van Buren, and at 8th Street there was an exchange of who was behind who, and that particular gray Mercedes-Benz rolled down Van Buren Street, Northwest Washington, D.C., made a right onto 5th Street, Northwest Washington, D.C., with in the car seat the reporter behind it, and parked right there at Underwood at the Metro bus stop. 100, and I think the numbers ends in 777. We have that indicated in the report further up in this particular report. That particular gray Mercedes made a right then back onto Underwood, a right back onto Underwood, wearing the car seat. That guy, StreetNOW News reporting, ceased the reporting right there at Underwood on 5th Street. The point we need to make here is that there was 2 points on Underwood where the black woman in the gray Mercedes, 1 picked up and then 2 released, and that was all supposed to have been for the reimaging. At the same time, the video of all of that happening was pulled off of the equipment of in the car seat. That guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford. The tag number of that particular gray Mercedes was GG. The tag number of the blue Toyota RAV4 was GK, and then we had another Toyota that started at 6 a.m. in the morning. What we are showing here is how it was supposed to start and end with a stalking and a following by a black woman this morning, and it was supposed to end in Terry Dwayne Ashford being framed for the black woman crime that may have occurred when the black woman jumped out of the vehicle, ran behind the BP gas station. Ran behind the Shell gas station at Georgia and Piney Branch. For StreetNOW News, we're coming up with more reporting on this in a few short moments. The actual reporting, actually, is coming up next. Terry Dwayne Ashford reporting for you on April 24th, Saturday morning. The ploy of the black women that started at 6 a.m. in the morning started at Longfellow Street with a dark color, maybe dark blue or black Toyota, in the largest form of Toyota. It was a separate Toyota. It was like that on the Range Rover size scale. Second came was a Toyota RAV4 that was supposed to pick up at 9th Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. That particular Toyota RAV4 was supposed to create a crime. That particular Toyota RAV4 was supposed to be reimaged. It's in the car seat. That guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, where the pickup was supposed to ensue on 9th Street Northwest. However, Tuckerman Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. is where in the car seat that guy sat and reported and waited on the blue Toyota RAV4 that turned into the green BP gas station and made a U-turn and parked at the yellow gas station Shell right there at Piney Branch. Part 2, and right there at Piney Branch and Georgia Avenue, where Tuckerman Street, where the light blue ladies made a left onto Tuckerman Street and made that U-turn right there. Tuckerman intersects Piney Branch at Georgia Avenue, and that is where the gray Mercedes Benz sedan picked up for the re-imaging. Right there at Piney Branch and Underwood after in the car seat, that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, in his vehicle, and others, the driver of his vehicle turned around and went down Piney Branch. That particular Mercedes, gray Mercedes, followed in the car seat, that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, down Piney Branch and made a right onto Van Buren. That is where at 8th Street, right there at Van Buren, Terry Dwayne Ashford pulled over and allowed the gray Mercedes to move on by, and that is where we got behind the gray Mercedes. The gray Mercedes rolled down the street. Again, part 3, Terry Dwayne Ashford here, right? Again, part 3, Terry Dwayne Ashford here, right at Underwood and Piney Branch is where the gray Mercedes sedan with the black woman driving it picked up after in the car seat, that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, was reporting on the RAV4 crime right there at the Shell gas station. At Underwood and Piney Branch, that particular gray Mercedes sedan driven by a black woman then followed in the car seat, that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, down Piney Branch and then made a right onto Van Buren Street. Right there is when the car seat, that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, noticed the pickup and he pulled over right there at 8th Street and Van Buren Street. And it's at 8th and Van Buren where in the car seat, that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, got behind the gray Mercedes just to see and made a right onto 5th Street, Northwest Washington, D.C., ended up at the bus stop right there at Underwood. On Saturday morning, April 24th, Terry Dwayne Ashford in the car seat, that guy, StreetNOW News, reporting from bus stop, Metro bus stop 10027777. It is at this particular bus stop that the gray Mercedes who picked up at Underwood, but Underwood at Piney Branch, circled around Piney Branch, Van Buren, and made a right and was released right here at Underwood on 5th Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. This particular report is coming to you from in the car seat, that guy, StreetNOW News. That's in news for News Radio. I'm Terry Dwayne Ashford. This is part 5 of the Saturday morning reporting by Terry Dwayne Ashford at Underwood and 5th Street, where in the car seat, that guy sat behind the stalking gray Mercedes Benz driven by a black woman who stalked in the car seat, that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, at Underwood on the other side at Piney Branch. Terry Dwayne Ashford ceased the reporting at Underwood and 5th Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. The stalker made a right on the street, made a right onto Underwood. As in the car seat, that guy moved forward with the reporting down to 5th Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. The re-imaging ploy was to re-image and then pull back the information that the stalker even existed and then remove the video. And there you see the video was removed from the equipment of in the car seat, that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, by the surrounding Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police. We allege one of them, the one that was working with the crimes, may have gone onto the device of in the car seat, that guy, StreetNOW News, and pulled the video from the device of the stalking Mercedes and the stalking blue RAV that was supposed to have committed the crime. Once that video was removed, then the police had planned to make a falsified, quote-unquote, charging of an innocent person, one that we sniped already. I'm Terry Dwayne Ashford, SNnews. Saturday morning, April 24th. The video was removed, but we have the pathway of the trail. StreetNOW News reporting for you. This particular black female reporting, this particular reporting by Terry Dwayne Ashford of the black female, quote-unquote, subtle attack came after in the car seat, that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, showed favor for a black male at the Exxon gas station right there on the corner of Tuckerman Street. He showed favor for the black male Muslim that was sitting right there on that worked at the gas station. He said hello, and he thought he was a nice person. And from that, the black females rushed to carry out their deceit. Well, the next time you try something like this, black female, you need to make sure that the person wants you. That is the very first thing. The second thing is, you need to know who you're messing with. That is what you need to do. You're not bad enough, you're not strong enough, and you're not smart enough. SNnews, Terry Dwayne Ashford reports for you. You need to fix yourself. For StreetNOW News, I'm Terry Dwayne Ashford. We're giving you this particular report this morning. We're closing out this particular audio report at 8:28 AM Eastern Standard Time here in Washington, D.C. Along with this particular audio report, you will have snapshots of narrative written pertaining to the incident. Again, I'm going to share it to you in a summary really quick. You have a black female in a Toyota, the largest Range Rover SUV type Toyota SUV this morning at 6 a.m. that followed from Longfellow. That particular black heavyset female then made a right onto 12th Street, and we got rid of it. Then on 9th Street, Northwest Washington, D.C., minutes later, on 9th Street, came rushing behind in the car seat. That guy, StreetNOW News chick, Terry Dwayne Ashford, was a blue Toyota RAV4. Tag number begins with GK. That particular RAV4 was supposed to be re-imaged. So they had black women that was following behind Terry Dwayne Ashford all that morning with the intentions of re-imaging. The re-imaging of the blue RAV4, with tag number beginning with GK. Terry Dwayne Ashford, StreetNOW News, saw it and it pulled over. And once we pulled over right there at Tuckerman Street, by the time the blue RAV4 arrived at Tuckerman Street, Terry Dwayne Ashford was sitting right there waiting and reporting on it. That particular blue Toyota RAV4 made a left onto Tuckerman Street, Northwest Washington, D.C., and made a right into the green BP gas station right there at Tuckerman, Georgia Avenue. Made another right onto Piney Branch, where Tuckerman and Piney Branch intersects, and then made a U-turn right there within seconds on to Piney Branch, and turned around and parked at the Yellow Shell gas station. The Yellow Shell gas station. So the blue Toyota RAV4 made a left onto Tuckerman, turned into the BP Green gas station, made a right onto Piney Branch, and then made a U-turn onto Piney Branch, back onto Piney Branch, and parked at the Yellow Shell gas station, and led out a black woman who ran behind the buildings of the Yellow Shell gas station. That wasn't all. Less than one block up the street was a gray Mercedes who picked up in the car seat that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, who was reporting on it. And that gray Mercedes followed Terry Dwayne Ashford from Underwood on Piney Branch, made a right onto Van Buren until we got to 8th Street on Van Buren. And that is when in the car seat that guy, Terry Dwayne Ashford, saw it too and pulled over and waited. And that particular silver gray Mercedes-Benz sedan, driven by another black woman, rolled down Van Buren Street, made a right onto 5th Street, and stopped at Underwood. And there at Underwood is where Terry Dwayne Ashford reports from the Metro stop 1002-777. That particular silver Mercedes then made a right onto Underwood as Terry Dwayne Ashford, StreetNOW News check, moved on down 5th Street and reported. For StreetNOW News, this is Saturday morning, April 15th. We We assumed this was a frame. It was a frame that was supposed to re-image. It was supposed to take in a crime and then to blame the wrong person for that crime, and we already sniped it. It's a disgust.